Cortes with Metabolize, and I am so excited for today's live interview with Jim Hemphill. So she is a money motivational coach, and woohoo, I'm so excited. Hey, Jen.
I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
Yay, I am excited that you're here too. And just so you know a little bit about Jen and why I chose her to be just the perfect person to speak about our topic today on money and grocery shopping and fitness and, how to not make it expensive, because sometimes it can get really expensive to transition to that healthy lifestyle. So before we jump into that in our interview, I want to tell you who Jen is, a little bit about it. So she is an accredited financial counselor. She is a wife. She's a mom. She loves people. She is a military mom too. So her husband right now, she takes care of the family, and yeah, that's so cool that she's able to have a business and family, military, balance that all out. She is really passionate about helping busy go-getter women like probably you who's watching this right now and myself just simplify things when it comes to money, so that they can really focus on the important things in life: your family, your fitness, your friends, your faith, whatever is important for you, and then you make that happen by working with Jen. So when she's not talking about money, she loves photography and coffee, me too, chocolate, traveling, and then working out and dates with her husband and just hanging out with her two sons. So Jen, I'm glad you're not in the North Pole anymore. Last time we chatted and did an interview, you were in the North Pole. Not really the North Pole, but you want to share about the North Pole?
I called it the North Pole, but it was North Dakota. But right now, I am seeing snow outside my window. So we've got a snow day. Hopefully the boys won't be interrupting us. I think I've got them under control. But yeah, there's snow. Fall, we're expecting about 8 inches, I believe, of snow. I just can't escape it. I just need to go to San Diego and live near you, I guess.
Right. I just remember to put on my jacket so it would look like it is winter time. It is March, and I wouldn't be wearing a tank top looking all crazy for whoever's watching this, like, what is she doing wearing a tank top in the winter time? Yeah, San Diego. Different, but I'm excited that you're here. I know that the people watching this webinar live right now, they are excited too. So inside the chat box, I'd love to hear where you guys are from. So why don't you just type that in? There is a little bit of a delay from the live feed, and so you might not be seeing this yet. It's about like a 10-15 second delay, but I'll check back in a little later, see where you guys are from. We also have some polls today too, so make sure that you are staying connected, because I have some polls and we have some really cool stuff at the end. Jen has an awesome bonus that she's going to be giving. So I want to just jump right into our interview, and so Jen, my first question for you is, when it comes time to buying healthy organic foods, a lot of people have the view that it's really expensive. And yeah, you can rack it up. You go to Whole Foods and you get like a whole small bag for $100, and it just goes out the window. And so what are some of your tips for this transition?
Sure. So absolutely, the price tag is definitely, once you look at it, when you're buying meat or chicken or produce or anything that's even healthier or more clean, definitely it looks more expensive. But what you got to take in mind is when you're transitioning to a healthier lifestyle, you don't have to buy everything. There's a lot of recipes out here, and here's my struggle, and maybe you can share some tips on me. Like, my struggle is that when you find all these recipes, or you have these recipe books with all these great recipes, they have got ingredients that you don't have. And so you feel stressed. It kind of overwhelms you because you feel like you have to buy all this stuff. But really, what you really need to hone in on is to just look for recipes that have some of the same ingredients, not the same, but that you already have, or that you normally buy already. So therefore, you're not stressing and getting overwhelmed, and two, you just focus on those things that you do like or you want to try out, versus feeling like you have to buy everything, because you don't have to buy everything by any means. So definitely there's a site, and I'm not sure, I haven't checked it out recently, but the struggle that I have, I didn't share that, is that when you go to look for these recipes, whether online or in books, it's not like you can just search, okay, I want these ingredients. But there is a site called allrecipes.com. I'm sure you've heard of it. I'm not sure if it has a whole lot of what you would approve for clean eating and everything, but there you can select. I'm sure they have some, but there you can select whatever ingredients that you have to work with, and it'll pull up the recipes. So I like that in that aspect. But yeah, my frustration is maybe you buy this recipe book and you don't find you're not able to cook because you don't have those ingredients. So that is definitely, so prioritize what is important to you as well. Maybe you have a need to be dairy-free or grain-free or gluten-free, so you really got to prioritize and go from there. But my main point here is don't feel like you have to buy everything on there.
That is a great tip. So prioritize your grocery shopping list. And so that is so important, because you're right. So many recipes have those fancy ingredients, and you buy them once, and then you don't even use it again.
Exactly.
Like one expensive ingredient that I bought at Christmas time, saffron.
Yeah.
Saffron. You know those little red things, and I was visiting my mom, and I just said, I found this soup, but it has saffron. I know we're probably going to spend $10 on this little teeny bit of spice. Yeah. You only need a pinch of it. And I'm like, oh, I have saffron at my house, but I was traveling, so I didn't bring it with me, of course. We bring saffron on the plane, whatever. That's weird. So we had to go buy it again. So now I have 2 containers of saffron, and I never cook with it, rarely make Indian dishes that typically need it, and it just sits there. So there's I'd say almost $20 worth of spices just sitting there. So that was an awesome tip, is choose recipes for stuff that you have, and also I take it another notch, stuff that's in season too. So look at what's in season, what's on sale in your area, because I know I'm in San Diego, and I see that there are many people on this webinar that are in San Diego. I see some on the East Coast too, Virginia. So it's freaking cold is what Kim says. So it looks like, yeah, that makes sense. There's people over there and people over here, because that's who we invited. That's who we know that we invite to this webinar. But yeah, so that's what I recommend. So I know I have some clients out in Virginia Beach area, and the access to the fresh produce sometimes is a bit challenging, and you have to buy a lot of frozen foods or stuff like that because they can't get the fresh stuff. So yeah, shop in season and choose recipes that you have access to, that you don't have to drive across town to find. And yeah, so cool. Awesome, Jen. Great tips. So what would you suggest would take the stress out of, the money, and, just eliminating that money stress thing around when it comes to transitioning to the lifestyle?
Right. Now, this is a big one, just because you really need to get clear on your money, and it will not only help you just in transitioning to a healthier lifestyle, but just in everything overall. So you really need to get clear on what is going on with your money, so what you're spending on. So I'm not just saying just pay your bills and whatnot, but really get clear, okay, what money do you have coming in, and what exactly are you spending it on? So maybe approximately, if you figure out that you're spending 50% of your income on food, we've got a little issue. That's 50% of your income. So you really need to get clear where all that money is going. So that's number one. And really, again, just don't feel like you have to do everything at once that is suggested for you. So just kind of buy according to your budget. So first, you need to get clear on what you have to work with, and then just transition little by little. So maybe you want to really cook with coconut oil, so add that in 1 month, okay? And then the next month, maybe you want to buy the cage-free, range-free, I never get it right, eggs. You can add on the next month as you see, but in order to do that, and continue adding those things, depending on how much wiggle room you have in your budget, you need to know what is going on with the money. And that is the number one thing that people don't do, because yes, tracking is very, very tedious, but once you do it for a while, you have an idea of how you're spending, and it helps you get clear on what's going on with your money. So you do it for a while and it'll help you. It's not something that you have to continuously do forever. But that's the number one thing that people don't do, is really get clear as to what is going on with their money.
Yes, that is perfect. So where is that money going? Not only where is it going with grocery shopping, but also eating out or fast food or restaurants, or just getting really clear makes such a big difference. And it doesn't have to be scary. It actually gives you freedom. That's what I found. Before I'm like, oh, I don't like a budget. I don't like that. I just want to spend money and make more money, and so I can do whatever I want. I felt like I was in jail with the budget, but like it doesn't have to be like that. And you're able to tweak things around, because if you're really committed to your health and your fitness and eating healthy, you're going to have to make a little bit of tweaks. But I like that also tip about, choose what months you're going to buy those bigger things, like the container of olive oil or the container of coconut or the container of almond butter. Like those are some bigger purchases that you just have to, space it out, especially if you are on, a pretty fixed income. So at least that's into our, the next question. There's lots of trends, when it comes to fitness and nutrition, and, lots of options, what to buy. It's kind of tough to choose what to go with. But what would you suggest would help with, just the shiny object syndrome, and choosing like what to focus on first to keep you on track with your finances, but also with your health goals?
Right. Well, one, I would, if it were me, I would look into, are there any health issues you want to address? Because that's definitely your number one priority, is your health. So you want to look at, okay, maybe you're having this serious allergy or gluten issues or whatever the case may be. So you really need to look at that and tackle those, okay? And then from there you move on to your other important goals, what you want to achieve in the next 3 months, 6 months, whether it's maybe losing some weight, gaining muscle, those type of things. You look at that. And then what you need to achieve that. So maybe, because there's a lot of fun gadgets out there and a lot of fun tools, but that doesn't mean you have to buy them. So for example, the Fitbit is the craze. I have one. I'm actually wearing one.
Mine comes in the mail right now. My husband is here at the door to hopefully catch the door before my Fitbit shows up, probably while we're doing this live right now. Woo-hoo.
So, for some people, for me, it's accountability. If I look at the end of the day, my activity is a little low, then I move towards that. But maybe you're a type of person that you're not really going to use it. So why buy the Fitbit? So you really need to look at those gadgets, and within yourself whether you're going to use them or not, okay? Because there's a lot of other stuff that maybe monitors heart rate, and maybe you really don't care, maybe it's important to monitor your heart rate, but maybe that's not something that you're going to be looking from time to consistently. So you really got to ask yourself, is that something that I'm really going to be using? And from there decide whether it's a good purchase for you, and that way you can it'll help you achieve those goals. But primarily is to look at, is there any health issues that you have to address? That's definitely the number one.
Yeah, I agree absolutely with you. Look at the health issues first, address that. That could even mean like budgeting so that you can afford health insurance. Like if you don't have that, like that would be something pretty important to have. Or, going and doing that yearly checkup. If you skip that, that's top priority. Then layer in the others, and sometimes it's easy to like forget about that stuff, or like not think about those doctor appointments that are so important. Your eyes, your teeth, the women that are on here are yearly appointments. Like younger and younger people are having cancer, and just you want to really make sure that that's taken care of first, and then you layer in everything else, and then save up for those Fitbits and make it work. Yeah, I agree. Like we like to buy gadgets, but when choosing what to get, you don't want to get everything, because you're just going to sit there and just waste your money.
There's always going to be something new coming up anyways,
Right.
So always with technology, like I tell my son, he's not even 13. I was just about to say he's 13. He's 12, but he's been wanting an iPhone, and he really, a 12-year-old with an iPhone, we don't think he needs one. But what I tell him with those things, that technology is advancing so much that there's always going to be a new one. So I don't want him to think that just because there's the latest and the greatest that he has to get that one as well, because that can get costly. So the same with any fitness gadgets and everything. You just got to go accordingly and shop smartly for sure.
Yeah, you bring up another good point about, the moms that are watching this right now, or the dads that are watching this live, or the replay that we're going to send now. I mean, your kids are watching everything that you're doing. So when you're modeling that behavior, especially around finances, they start to model that too, and they're going to pick up on your habits, what you do around your health, around your finance, those different things. They're going to start to follow that, so they watch what you do. So that is a great tip to teach your son, so that they're not always wanting the latest and the greatest, because later on down the road, man, that could not be very healthy to be just not spender, just going all crazy. But tell me a little bit about your transition into a healthier lifestyle. I know part of it because you actually worked with me for a little bit and were my client in my Sugar Buster challenge. So that was so fun. That was, I don't know, 2-3 years ago that you were in that. And that's how we
about 2 to 3
got
years
to really know each other. But I would like to know, and for you to share with everyone kind of your story around that. And also, if you're willing, tell us, how much were you spending before? What are you spending now? Kind of what's changed around that, if you are open to letting us know the insight.
Sure. Well, basically, I've always been in the gym. For me, working out has never been an issue since college, or actually since high school, but especially in college, I really, really got into the lifting of the weights and all that. So I've always had that. The eating part, not so much, because in college, you work out and, you're younger and you don't have to worry. But then as you get older, your metabolism slows down and things happen. You start gaining weight and so forth. But I noticed for a while that even though people were saying the food, you need to, really the food is a key factor, I didn't believe it for a while until even though I continued working out and doing this, doing my normal routine, I noticed that there was no change. So I figured I'd try this changing of the diet of what I ate. And but for a while there, I'm like, I was very, very hesitant and resistant just because of the price. I mean, just looking at the amount per pound for the meat or the chicken or the turkey was just mind-boggling, and I just couldn't get myself to do it. And then also just having those other, like coconut oil, I'm like, coconut oil to cook? I mean, that was just completely foreign to me. So there was a lot of resistance for a long, long time until I really got fed up that I wasn't seeing any results, any progress. And actually, that was the year that I got connected with you. So at that time, that's when I slowly, it wasn't an overnight thing. I just slowly transitioned with some of the things that I purchased at the grocery store, and I haven't looked back. So with the amount of money, to be honest with you, well, one, I have to tell you, you have to not fight that resistance so much. It's really, really a mindset thing. And then what I noticed was that we weren't really spending much more. Yes, the price tag was per pound and all that stuff. The items in specific individually were more expensive, but because we weren't eating out as much, we weren't buying as much junk food and so forth, it kind of almost leveled out. I can't say it's exactly the same amount. It might be just a tad bit little more, but really not any significance in there. So really it was just, I think also because when I wasn't buying all these great foods, I wasn't cooking as much. I was throwing away a lot of food because I had this resistance to cook. I didn't enjoy cooking. I think partly because I'm like, this, maybe it might have been partly because I I wasn't confident with the nutrition I was giving my family. So I think that was part of it. So once I saw, tried all these recipes that Liz suggested and all these other that I found, it made it fun. I don't have that resistance to cooking. Yes, I have my days of where I'm not cooking today, but we have a lot of great foods. We have more of a balance. Is it completely no junk food in the pantry? I can't say there's a little bit, but we have definitely more of a balance of that. And yeah, there's really not much more of spending, which is crazy to think, because now I cook more, and I think also because you spend that the price tag for those individual things are more, you don't want to waste them, so you don't throw away as much food, and then eating out, because once you notice the quality. For example, for some reason I think it was one of the snow days or something, and I wanted to make some hamburgers or something. So I was in a crunch. I didn't get to Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is absolutely my most favorite store to shop at. I mean, as far as the quality and also the pricing on that is phenomenal. And as being a military spouse, that I also have access to the commissary. Just a side note, I know I'm getting off track, but for those of you that are military affiliated, some of the exact same brands, let's say almond flour or almond butter, were actually cheaper at Trader Joe's. I was in shock. But I got off track, and what was I saying before that?
Yeah, you were talking about how snow days and you really wanted the hamburgers for your kids.
Yes. So I just bought ground beef, and because that was all I have. I didn't buy the regular grass-fed organic beef that I bought because I was just in a crunch. And just the taste, the smell, there's a big difference. And once you get used to cooking with the cleaner foods, you will notice that. So you definitely don't eat out as much. You don't waste as much food. You'll definitely notice a difference.
No, that is great. So many good nuggets in there. You brought up about how it's so cool how of course, you're tracking your money. Not all of us track, so we wouldn't be able to compare what it was before or after. But yeah, I track. I can see the transitions from year to year, and where money was spent on fitness and on nutrition. And so that's a great tip that, for just getting started, yeah, you don't eat out as much, and you cook more at home, and it's more fun, and you get the boys involved, you get your family involved. It's like an event, and you come together, and kids could be playing video games or whatever, but you bring them all together, and they get to learn with you about cooking healthy, and then they get used to the taste too. And so, are there any other nuggets, buying healthy stuff? You mentioned about Trader Joe's versus the Next, or I say the Next out here. We're in San Diego, but we have the Next, so the commissary that's out here, different areas. I mean, that is a really good point, because you think, especially, I work a lot with the military, so yeah, there are people in the military that are on here that I'm sure they're going to watch the replay because they're probably working right now. But, here we go. I see some tips getting in about military tips. So, okay, good. I'm glad that you guys are liking that. I get the messages a little late because of the little delay. So, good. Okay, good. So we'll keep going with more of that. But that's a great tip, because you think at the commissary things will be so much cheaper, and that they aren't necessarily all the time. So it is good to shop around.
Yeah, and I'm talking to more of the organic stuff. And but then in hindsight, this is the stuff that I buy. So I remember that I buy almond flour. What else? There were some other things I can't think off the top of my head, but those things that were the same exact brand, I could get the same thing at Trader Joe's, the same brand, and it was cheaper, and it just shocked me. I was not, so I haven't been to the commissary. I haven't been back. Now that I have access to Trader Joe's, I'm like, no.
Yeah, you just switch that around. So that's great. So do you have any other tips around other ways to save, anything that you forgot or left out? I don't know everything.
Yeah, I know one thing is that there's not a lot of coupons for organic and all that. But if you look at the particular websites of the companies, like for example Stonyfield Farm or the Organic Value, sometimes you're going to find some coupons. So it's not going to come in the mail necessarily, but just look at the websites themselves. They'll come up with some coupons from time to time. And then the other thing I wanted to say is do not, and I'm sure you'll agree here, is do not get caught up with the labeling of like buying everything just because it says organic or gluten-free, or really look at the ingredients, because you could be buying, they might be healthier, let's say chips, organic. I don't know. I think they come in organic. There's just
organic
so much.
chips. Yeah, I buy organic chips.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have to look at the labeling. So if you look at the labeling and it's the same, you have to make really a call yourself of where you look at the labeling and see maybe there's some ingredients that's, you don't recognize, and look at the labeling of the regular chips, and then you have to make your own call. Do I want to pay more for the same? So just really look. They might be quote unquote healthier, but don't get caught up with the labeling of gluten-free and what was it that I saw? I saw soda that says gluten-free. I'm like, so you're going to buy soda just because it's gluten-free? And so that's what they're trying, that's what they're doing. They're trying to catch your attention, because if you see gluten-free, grain-free, what else, organic, then you're more prone to buy it if you're trying to be healthier. But that doesn't mean it's, especially in packaged products, really more specifically in packaged product, you got to look at those ingredients. And then, as you said, eat in season. And the other thing is with berries and everything, buy frozen. So, especially if you do a lot of smoothies, just buy frozen for sure. So those are really the other savings.
Yeah, buy them frozen from Costco. They have big giant.
Yep.
That'll last you with your whole family.
Yep.
Yeah. Another little thing. I mean, it's different for every areas, but out here in California and also in the Southwest, they have these stores called Sprouts. So Sprouts, Farmers Market is what it's called, and they do something. I know out here, I don't know if it happens everywhere, but they have double ad Wednesdays. So you can actually get a lot of organic stuff on sale. And my husband and I, we typically would shop a lot at Costco, because at our Costco we do have a lot of organic stuff. In California, most Costco's don't, though, so you just have to ask them, and then if more people ask, you'll get those in your stuff there. But we do lots of shopping at Costco and Trader Joe's and Sprouts, and then for the fancier stuff we don't have, we go to Whole Foods, because Whole Foods typically, you're going to spend a lot more money there versus other organic or healthier food type places. And what we found is when we shop, so Wednesdays, double ad Wednesday, and when we shop there, we save so much money, and we choose the grocery shopping list because they'll send ads, like you'll get them in the mail or you can look online, and you can plan out your recipes for what's on sale there. And it also creates more variety too, so you're not bored getting the same thing. Like when I go to Costco, it always is the same fruits and veggies. So you get the same thing every couple weeks or whatever, whenever you go, and it gets boring. But like at Sprouts, I try to only choose, like, it's like a game. I go there and I'm like, I'm not going to buy anything that's not on sale. And I play a game of trying to figure out like what fruits and veggies I'm going to get that are on sale and nuts, so that like there's more variety in the meals. And so it's been really fun. I've been playing, so I turn it like into a fun little game, so that might help out some people there that are watching this, that aren't having fun with their shopping, or it's just like, oh, this is too expensive or whatever. But yeah, have fun with it. And my husband has like totally been loving like all these like new recipes we've been trying lately, and they're like loaded with tons of vegetables, and he's like, these are so good. And so yeah, check that out. But cool, Jen, did you want to add anything else before I tell them about your really cool bonus for being on this webinar right now?
No, I guess the only thing is just to add on, you mentioned really planning out your grocery trips for sure, and you really made mention to that, because you want to go with a plan when you go, or even though that plan sometimes even fails. Yesterday I was at Trader Joe's, and I went for 4 items that was on my list. I came out with more, but the purpose of the planning it is just so that you stay on track. So yeah, that would be the only thing that I would add. So.
Cool, cool. Well, why don't you tell us about your bonus that you have for everyone that is watching this video right now? And I'll make sure to put the link of
Oh,
it below the video, so it'll be when I send out the replay, you guys will get it too. So it's right underneath this video. If you're watching the replay, just click that link. You'll get the bonus as well. But Jen, tell us about this bonus. I am really excited that you're giving this away. It's going to make such a big difference.
awesome, awesome. Well, basically, it's a cheat sheet. As busy women, or there might be men, just in general, we're just, it's hectic out there. So I simplified. I love simplifying because what happens with money, it can get so overwhelming and it can be so confusing, but it doesn't have to be that way. So I've created a cheat sheet where I take you through my process of starting from the mindset, because I'm really, really creating a good mindset, to really getting clear on your money. So I take you through the cheat sheet step by step, and you'll be getting emails that will elaborate a little more, and that in case you got a little confused or whatever, it'll give you more clarity on the cheat sheet. So if you work on that cheat sheet step by step, you will definitely have more clarity on your finances. So that's why I created it, so that way it's something that's easy to follow and put you into action. If you do it, so you gotta take some action.
Great, great. So yeah, go ahead, click that link. So if you're watching this live right now, it will be underneath somewhere on the page, I think over on the side of the page that you're on. And then if you're watching the replay, click the link right below this video, and you'll be able to get that link. Another way to get in touch with Jen, if you have questions, definitely leave questions below this video, or if you're watching that, or shoot us back an email, click reply. We'll definitely write back to you and support you with transitioning to a healthy lifestyle. Another way to get a hold of Jen is right here. Let me put up that link. There we go. Here is her website, and so there is jenhemphill.com, so that's easy to remember. So write that down, and you can connect with her over there as well. Anything else you want to add, Jen?
No, I appreciate you having me, Liz. It's been fun, and yeah, let me know any questions, and I hope this has been of value for you, because I know my transition, it wasn't overnight, but it's doable. And like I said, I don't foresee you spending more money. It just depends on what you buy and what your needs are. So, but yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yay! Thank you, Jen. And thank you guys for staying on and watching this webinar with us. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day.
Take care. Bye.